Welcome back to the show. It's Wednesday night in Melbourne. I'm Michael Kuzilny, and thank you very much for watching every Wednesday night. We've been doing this for the last 5 years, trying to inspire some people out there who might be facing some difficult life issues, and you know, even if you pick up a couple of things from our wonderful guests who sit on the couch, that's great. That's all we're trying to do. Create a happier and a better community, and I think it's very important tomorrow when you wake up on Thursday, just try to be a bit more non-judgmental and send your love and best wishes out there like our good friend Henry Nissen. Smile a bit more and find out about other people. Become a bit more selfless rather than it's all about me, me, me. You know, find out about other people and maybe you can make a bit of a difference. We've got a beautiful human being on the couch, Calvin Onus King, and what an amazing story. So you've got these judgmental kids and who grow up into judgmental adults, and then you copped it on the streets of Fitzroy, didn't you, as well?
I did. I finally found my family.
Yes.
Like a lot of people who are displaced from family by one way or another didn't actually get back to their family, which makes me feel very fortunate that I've actually been able to find my family and sort of regain my life again and restart my life again and get things back in order culturally, so to speak. But being a part of Fitzroy was on the streets of Fitzroy was a very dangerous process, being an Aboriginal person from a whole.
You're a street kid there for a while at the age of 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gertrude Street, or Fitzroy, was commonly known as the Black Ghettos of Melbourne. Much the same as Redfern in Sydney. Right. The Black Ghettos of Sydney is Redfern. But a very tough place to grow up in, but a very caring place. It's amazing how people who are so poverty-stricken can show so much love on a different level. Because we're talking about people who have no money, a lot have no houses to live in.
Is that amazing? But
somehow get together on a social level to actually look after each other on a day-to-day level, in a lot of small ways.
But even though you had that love and you had some more support than you did where you came from, you still got hit the drugs hard, didn't you?
I wouldn't say real hard.
No?
I'd say emphatically hard.
What did you try?
Look, I tried heroin.
Yeah.
Once.
Yep.
I hated it. I tried amphetamines.
How old were you when you first experimented?
Look, I think I was 15 when I had that heroin.
Yeah.
And that was an imposition on Fitzroy as well, because at that time there were a lot of people in Fitzroy who were trying to push out drugs. Right. Trying to keep out cocaine, trying to keep out amphetamines, all of those sorts of dangerous type things. But of course, in the end, the drug dealers won. Yes. But I didn't centre too much on drugs. I had a bad time on drugs, but a very short period.
The grog, what about the grog? You hit the grog?
Look, I drank as many beers as anybody else in Fitzroy. Yeah. But again, I say I'm really fortunate that I was able enough to actually try and modify some of that towards the early years of my adulthood. Mm-hmm. I think during my teens I had a fantastic time.
Did you?
On drugs and beer, but there was a lot of bad times involved in that too.
Of course.
A lot more.
Of course.
You know, the experience of police. I witnessed police beatings.
So we escaped the childhood bullying, and all of a sudden we start the bullying from the cops.
Yeah, and there was you know, to actually be a part of the social network in Fitzroy, you actually had to be some sort of have some sort of staunchness about you.
Yes.
And that's why I think a lot of good fighters come out of these areas, is because there's that expectation that you do have some sort of quality in being able to look after yourself, and therefore be able to look after others to a certain degree. But the relationship between Aboriginal people and the police I've witnessed firsthand. I myself have been charged with offences that have been not found by the courts,
It's what they call
pretty serious charges.
A hamburger with a lot, huh?
More than a hamburger with a lot.
Yep.
There was a case where I got charged with, there were 11 counts of assaulting police.
When you got beaten up?
Yeah, and I was the one that actually got assaulted that
And it's really
night.
what we spoke about in the previous interview, isn't it,
Absolutely,
Kelvin?
yeah.
You know, it's you might get a good flogging because you're Aboriginal and because
Yes.
they thought you had an attitude problem. All of a sudden you get 25 charges and you get police investigating police.
Yeah.
And they say, no, he's the guilty one because he's Aboriginal and we've got the blue uniform on with Victoria Police and the sergeant stripes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was very cut and dry.
Yeah.
And I think that to a certain degree that Fitzroy was used by the police force as a breeding or as a training program for younger police officers to come, and this is how we approach hotels.
And probably the St Kilda as well.
And St Kilda as well.
St Kilda Police Force, they used to call it, you know. And of course there was a large, well, not real large, but there was an Aboriginal community there.
Oh,
Who
absolutely.
suffered greatly in the 80s.
Absolutely.
Suffered,
absolutely. But tactics being used by police, they used to bring the dogs in.
Yeah.
In full force into the hotels, and they wouldn't go after the young ones immediately. What they would do was actually approach the elder ones, but knowing full well that the younger ones would support and start protecting their elder ones.
Right.
So there was already a strategy before they walked into the hotel about what they were going to do and how they were going to achieve it.
Right.
And all of those sorts of things. And that, the community members knew that, so it became a very us and them situation, the police and community type.
You told me of a story where a policewoman attacked you? Well, you attacked her?
Yeah, no, quite the opposite. She attacked me, and this was the case where I was charged with 11 counts of assault on police by kicking, threatening to kill police, all of those sorts of things. The policewoman got up in court and said it was the most terrifying experience in a whole 14 years in the police force. But based on the evidence...
And that was bullshit, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I did actually protect myself, and that's where she got her injuries from. Right. Because her and her partner were in the process of assaulting me, so I had to protect myself.
What were they doing, kicking into you?
One had a baton. The second officer had a baton, and
you might talk about that violent experience and the upcoming the court case after that, after the next break.
Ah, for sure.
We'll be back very shortly on Tough Times. Don't go away.